Hey, welcome to Tip of the Week. Today we're going to talk about SSH key-based authentication. We're just going to go through a simple example. So I'm going to try and keep this one short and sweet. So let's go ahead and get started. Get my screen shared out. All right, so specifically the objective that we're talking about here is this one right here. Configuring key-based authentication for SSH. And this is really pretty straightforward and pretty simple to get done. So let me just kind of go through a quick example here. So I've got a couple different RHEL 7.1 boxes here. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my client box here. And there's really just a couple things that we have to do in order to set up key-based authentication. So I'm going to set it up for the student account, though certainly we could set this up for the root account or for any other account. We need to do basically two things. We need to generate a key, and then we need to copy that key over to the other host. So if I type in SSH, and you'll notice that if I press tab twice for command completion, you'll see there that there's an option there for key gen. So I'll go ahead and now I can run this with argument, without any arguments. I'm going to leave it up to you to read through the man pages, but I'm just going to run SSH key gen. Okay. The default location of that key and the default name of that key is going to be homestudent.sshid.rsa. If I enter in a passphrase, then anytime I access the private key, I will have to enter in the passphrase at least once. That can be managed with the SSH agent, but I'm going to go ahead and create this key without a passphrase, which obviously has some security concerns. And so now we have our key. Now, in order to enable key-based authentication, I need to copy that key. You'll see there is a copy ID option for SSH. So I'll say copy ID, and I'm going to copy that ID over to, let's see, I'm on client. So I'll copy that over to server20.nhls.com. This is the first time I've connected to this box, so I'm going to go ahead and get the public key. So I'll go ahead and say yes there. And then it's prompting me for the password. Notice that it's prompting me for the password for the student account on the server. Okay, so this is not the local student account, but this would be the student account on the server. They do happen to be the same in this environment, but go ahead and enter that. All right, so that should be about it. That's one way. Okay, so if I attempt to connect to the host. So if I say SSH for srv20.nhls.com, you'll see that I'm connected and I was not prompted for a password. Now that's only completing one-way authentication. I am now connected to the server. If I pop over to the server, we will see that SSH connection. So let me go ahead and jump over to the server here. If I type in, run the who command, for example, you'll see that client20.nhls is connected. Now, if I try to SSH over to client 20, okay, and it's the first time I've connected to that particular host, so it's issuing me its public key, but then I'm still prompted for a password because we've really only completed the SSH key-based authentication in one direction, which may be what you want, and you may want it to go in both directions. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect, and so if I want to complete that process and do it in both directions, then I'm going to go ahead and exit, come back to the server here. And I'll just repeat the process. So under SSH, I'll run the keygen utility. I'll let it save to the default location. I'm not going to password protect the private key. And then next thing is just SSH and then copy the ID. And I'm going to copy the ID over to client20.nhls.com. enter in the password. Now, again, I'm not being prompted for my local student account password, but I'm being prompted for the student account on the remote host. Enter in the password, and as long as I did everything correctly, I should now be able to SSH. And this time I'm just going to run a command. So I'm going to say SSH to client20.nhls.com, and we're going to run let's just run the hostname command. And you notice I was not prompted for a password, and it returned the host name of client20nhls.com. So as you can see, setting up key-based authentication for SSH is really a quick and easy process. Certainly I would recommend that you read the man pages for SSH keygen and SSH copy ID, but this is really a straightforward task and can be completed very quickly. Hope you enjoyed that tip, and we'll see you for the next one.